Hello and welcome to yet another video where we will do some spring sketching together. I happen to have these absolutely beautiful violets in my balcony at the moment, and I decided to have just relaxing morning sketching them and sitting on a balcony floor and just having fun and taking a creative moment just for me. Today I will be using two different types of mediums. So I have here my Inktense paint pens, which are, as you know, super intense, super vibrant, not quite as watercolor, but they're watercolor-like, and I really enjoy using them for this kind of quick sketching. And I also have my Neocolor II crayons, so I will be using both of them, not mixing them so much together, but more like having them side by side and enjoying both, which are two of my favorite mediums to use for this kind of relaxing session, painting and drawing outdoors. I will also keep this video real time so that you can see the whole process. It doesn't take too long, so you can have a just relaxing coffee break, or you can paint and draw with me if that's something that you feel like doing today. So I welcome you to join me. What I love most about this kind of very relaxing and very intuitive painting and drawing outdoors is that it actually really takes you to that flow state so much easier, at least in my case, when I don't do too much planning and I just draw and paint what I feel like drawing and painting. And this is very spontaneous. I had actually another kind of video planned for this week, but it was this one morning when the sun was shining and it was really relaxing sunshine moments in a balcony, and I felt that this is what I want to create this week and I wanted to share it also with you. As always, I also had my cute little dog with me, so she would actually make an appearance in this video at some point because she was just, walking around and seeing what on earth I'm doing, and I wanted to share that fun little moment with you. I think it is so wonderful that it's finally warm enough, at least some days it's warm enough for us to enjoy painting and drawing outdoors, even though it's just on a balcony or on a bench or on a park or something similar and not for too long, but it's still warm enough to do that, and that's always true sign of spring for me. What you can see me doing here is that I am just, using these paint pans to add some color, do some color blocking, make some really rough sketches, and that's just these different shapes of petals and leaves. And then later on, I will also use some fine liners to give some definition for this side of this page, because I just felt that I just felt like doing it that day, to be honest. I really enjoy actually mixing fine liners with Inktense paint pens because I think those two go really, really well together, especially for these kinds of sketchbook sessions. It's a fun combination and helps you also to just relax and not pay too much attention on details when you are adding this first layer of paints, and then you can use the fine liner to give some detail, and I think that combination works really well. You can also see me do some color mixing here, very basic color mixing, just mixing different greens and yellows together to create these different shades. And yes, pretty much I just also used paint directly from the pans as well, because I think that this set has really, really pretty colors that work really well for florals. So I think this is very useful for that kind of sketching. I will have all the details of the art supplies I'm using today listed in the description, so you can check them out The sketchbook I'm using here is by Fabriano. It's really, really good for this kind of outdoor sketching, and it can handle quite a good amount of water, so I really enjoy using it for any watercolors or other water-soluble mediums whenever sketching outdoors. It's kind of sturdy paper, and the sketchbook itself is pretty sturdy, so it's good to take with you when you are painting somewhere else than not by your art table or art desk. So as you can see, I'm just using kind of the brush to make very organic shapes and not planning too much, just giving the impression of different leaves and different shades of green. And that's, I think, what makes this so fascinating. It doesn't have to be super realistic, or you don't have to paint everything that you see. Very often when you have something like these violets and there are so many flowers and so many leaves, it can feel pretty overwhelming. So what I like to do is exactly what you see me do here, is that I like to just add different colors, give that impression that there are some interesting things happening, and then you can use some fine liners or additional layers of paint or crayon or whatever to define it afterwards. You don't have to do that. You can also leave it like that and have just very beautiful, say, impressionistic view that there is something, but you are not defining it too much. But don't let it be too intimidating, and don't let it limit you, even though some subjects are definitely a bit harder than others. When I start then using the Neocolor II crayons, I have very much similar method, but I like to color mix or make some color mixes here on the paper as well. But as always, I keep it very loose. I just enjoy the process. I don't overthink it too much. And in this case, I'm not doing too much layering. As you know, usually I actually layer a lot when I'm working with Neocolor IIs, and I enjoy that kind of building the different layers and depth. But today I wanted to keep the sketch really loose and just, not spend too much time on it, just enjoy the process and give the impression. And kind of, I think what it was about just storing this moment and the feeling on my sketchbook. And when that happens, I don't always follow my own processes. So that's also a kind of something I wanted to share with you, that it doesn't always have to be so process oriented. It can be really powerful to use both purple and yellow on the same flower. And of course, because they are complementary colors, they do really lift one another really well. And I think this combination also makes these flowers so powerful. And also when you then have the green, which is, I would say, kind of smoothing color in this combination, I really think that all these colors work really well together. And as said, I will have the colors listed in description if you want to see the exact crayons that I like to use for something like this. But you could definitely use whichever colors you have at hand. But I think the balance here is really interesting, and the fact that you don't see me using too many different colors here. It's very limited palette again that I'm using. It's only like 5 or 6 crayons, for example. And when it came to paint pans, it was only a few of those as well. So you don't have to have everything available. You can mix, you can just, use the colors creatively, and that way create these impressions and depth to your little sketches. But as said, I think this green has very smoothing effect on this paper because purple is quite vibrant and so is the yellow, and those kind of pop out really, really a lot. And then when you add the green, it kind of calms things down, if that makes sense. So I think it's also nice to sometimes look back to your art and see what kind of balance the different colors and different shapes create on the paper, and also it can somehow also reflect the mood you are having that day. Let me know in the comments if this type of video is something that you enjoy and you like to see more of. I'm happy to do these real-time sketching sessions, especially outdoors now that the weather is nicer, and hopefully we can start seeing true spring and maybe some early signs of summer soon. So if this is something you enjoy and would like to see more of, please share that in the comments. I'd be very happy to take you with me virtually whenever I am painting and drawing outdoors. As always, I want to share the inspiration and inspire others to also take just a few moments in the day or week to make some art and take that moment just for you. I know that it can be really busy sometimes and life can be very hectic, but whenever taking these little art sessions, at least it helps me a lot. It helps me to be grounded, and also to just relax and take care of myself in that way. So I really hope that this inspires you and makes you want to take your art supplies and maybe have a drawing and painting session, whether it's outdoors, on the balcony, or just, by the window looking outdoors and enjoying whichever weather you are having at the moment. So as said, I hope that you've enjoyed this video, and if you have, please give it a like, and if you haven't subscribed to my channel already, please do so. At the moment I am posting one video per week, new video coming out every Thursday, at least it's always Thursday in my time zone, and I have loads of fun ideas for the spring and summer videos. But also I'm always happy to take your suggestions and ideas. So if you have something specific you'd like to see, maybe some specific subject matter or some medium you'd like to see more here on my channel, please share that in the comments and I'd be happy to take a look and see what we can do. I wish you a lovely week ahead, and I hope that you will have loads of fun time and some time for your art as well. I will see you very soon in my next video. Thank you so much for watching, and bye for now.